Hello my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I am truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently on this channel. So with that in mind, if the messages do happen to resonate along the way, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Today's question is, why do people fall for you? And I'm going to be using the Animal Spirit, or Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle by Kim Kranz. And yeah, this is not just set for men or women. This is literally going to be any people for any people. Okay, so we're going to move this off to the side over here and get your prayer underway. And we will go ahead and tap into this reading and see what comes out for you. I am trying something a little bit different today. I actually have frequencies playing on my surround sound. I noticed that, and I'm not sure if the people who commented this will catch the beginning, but it's not worth me taking the time out of the reading in and of itself to mention it on each and every pick a card. And if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know I live in an RV, and so I'm literally in a driving tin can, and my AC is what's making the static noise in the background. It is not something that I can actually use a sound reduction to get rid of, because unfortunately the way that an AC vibrates at, the noise reduction is unable to invert the noise to reduce it from the background. However, as you stay on the videos, it does get less and less with the phone that I'm recording on. But it's not something that I can change. I've already tried many different methods to make it better, and so this is just where we're at with what we have. And I can't remember who said it, but there's a famous quote that says you begin with where you're at with what you have, and that's where we're at. So this is where I'm at. I can't change my home right now, and we're gonna go with it. Okay, so with that, let's get into your prayer. My beloved source, this prayer is for anyone and everyone who comes on here. You know, we want to see ourselves through these eyes of love, and we want to see ourselves and really radically accept ourselves, and yet we still find ourselves asking questions like, what do people think of us? Why are people falling in love with us? And what is it about us that can help us see ourselves from this place of love? And unintentionally, we're not trying to put that much power onto other people. It is something that is deeply ingrained within our DNA, because it's been a part of society for longer than we care to admit. But with that, I ask that you open up our eyes and open up our hearts so that we can embrace ourselves in this moment and not worry about where everyone else is on their journey, or even what everyone else should be doing. And not worry about when comments or when things are mentioned about us, or even when things come up in readings about us that might trigger us or sit wrong with us, that is not a true reflection of who we are. That we're so much deeper and we have so much more to offer than the snapshot of what the world is seeing at any given moment. Because the truth is that no one can see us in our whole glory. However, you'll have in every moment of our lives witnessed everything that makes us us. And what I ask today is that you give us a snapshot of how you see us through your eyes. Help us step into this light of unconditional love and truth, that we are a soul here having this human experience, and that makes us such profound, miraculous, magnificent, marvelous light. And that's what we should hold on to, and that's what we should tap into, and that's where we can find our strength. As these words are spoken unto this tribe and upon this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho, Aseh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way over here. All right. Okay. And we've got some ash on the table. Alright, let's shuffle and see what comes out. So, Source, what wild unknown animal oracle card will help us better understand why people fall in love with my collective? Why do people fall in love with my collective? What wild unknown animal oracle card will help us better understand why people fall in love with my collective? You're very strong is a message coming through already. Alright, Source. What wild unknown animal oracle card will help us better understand why people fall in love with my fellow humans? Why do people fall in love with my fellow humans? Okay, thank you. Why do people fall in love with my fellow humans? For pile number 1, Source, what wild unknown animal oracle will help us better understand why people fall in love with pile number 1? Thank you. Alright, Source, for pile number 2, what wild unknown animal, or the unknown wild animal oracle card will help us better understand why people fall in love with pile number 2? Thank you. And for pile number 3, Source, what wild unknown animal oracle card will help us better understand why people fall in love with pile number 3? Alright, thank you. Bottom of the deck. Ooh, we've got the Wolf card. Oh, yeah, very strong energy. You're very wise. You're very knowledgeable. You are very rarely worried or affected by the way people show up. There's a lot of people who might put you on blast all the time. And it's actually those very same people that put you on blast that end up falling in love with you because you don't react the way that most people would. So you're incredibly grounded in yourself, and you also bring this presence. So there's a lot of people that are actually intimidated by you. You'd be like, well, if someone's intimidated by me, how would they fall in love with me? But they do. They can't help but fall in love with you through that intimidation, because it's awe-inspiring intimidation. It's like, yeah, I'm inspired by you, but at the same time I'm intimidated by you, but I'm still so inspired by you. And you bring a sense of peace wherever you go, and that very peace disrupts the chaos that people usually live in, right? So even though you're not trying to, you're disrupting a lot of people's lives because you are an embodiment of this calm, silent, lone energy. And when I mean lone, it's not that you're lonely, it's just you're not afraid to be the lone wolf. You're not afraid to walk in solitude and stand powerful in that solitude. And that leaves people speechless. And that leaves people wondering, like, how do I tap into that? How do I get that for myself? But also, how do I invite this person into my life so that I can have that around me all the time? Because even though it's disrupting their lives, it's disruption for the good, right? It's like finally when the rain falls after a drought, it might make the whole world muddy, but it's necessary. And so you're like that cold drink, that cool, tall drink of water that people are looking for after it's been dry for too long, okay? So let's see what Wolf says from the book, and we'll get with it. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is earth energy here. Very grounded, very, very nurturing as well. Guardian of the family and the tribe, activism, ritual. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and the longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all and exclude nothing. When in balance, you're very reliable, democratic, and fearless. When out of balance, you tend to be judgmental and dominating. To bring into balance is to practice letting go. And that's the thing, like, that embrace all and exclude nothing. Like, people show up exactly as they are. Like I said, you're unbothered by the way that people show up in your life, and that in itself is a disruption, but a disruption for the good, right? So what a powerful energy. This is why people fall in love with you. Seems odd, but it's true. That energy. All right, so I got some new chakra stones that I'm actually really excited about here. I actually don't know what this one is. I do believe that this is yellow jasper. Or actually, no, my bad. I believe this is yellow jade. I'm not sure what this one is. I will have to find out what this one is. It didn't say in the little card that came with it. They're authenticated, but unfortunately didn't send a card with which ones these are. And this is lapis lazuli for the third eye. Okay, so we have the solar plexus, the throat chakra, and the third eye. And don't worry, I will bring these up to you. Let me make sure we're in frame. We're good to go. Okay, so for pile number 1, we do have this dice with the 12th house on it. And I rolled these before, so how they came out is how they came out. It was 11:11 on the clock. So we've got this dice with the 12th house. Okay, or we have this yellow jade with the solar plexus chakra symbol on it. And if I have them the wrong way, please hang with me. I'm still getting used to the symbols, so, you know, it is a different language. It's Sanskrit, so I grew up speaking English. For pile number 2, we have this dice with the 10th house on it. We have this one with the throat chakra symbol on it. Kind of looks like smoky quartz, but I don't know if that's what it actually is. And hey, if you've got a good eye for it and you know what it is, please, by all means, comment down below. Okay, for pile number 3, we have this dice with the 10th house on it. Or we have this lapis lazuli with the third eye symbol on it. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 12th house on it, or if you're drawn to this yellow jade with the symbol for the Manipura or solar plexus, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on why do people fall in love with you. Well, first, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space. And if you're new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together. And this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel, and if these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop to it and find out, why do people fall for pile number 1, Source? What would you like to share with us today? Why do people fall for pile number 1? What messages would you like to come through today, Source? Why do people fall for pile number 1? Whoa, flying out. Libra was in the mix. The 5th house and Uranus. You're a very balanced person. You're very energetic. You are very playful. You have this very upbeat attitude to you, but you also are capable of seeing all sides of the situation. Almost as if you're in tune with the collective consciousness at all times. You have this massive energetic antenna that taps into how people are thinking or what people are feeling, and if there's some sort of drama or there's some sort of upset that's around you, you very quickly come in and somehow you dissolve that, or you bring some sort of resolution to that, and people fall for you because you're not affected by the drama. You're not taken out because of the drama. It's not something that really weighs heavily on you. Instead, you see it for what it is, which is wounds that are talking. You see people coming from their wounded selves, and you give everybody a voice, and you give everybody a chance to explain themselves, and that is why there's these quick resolutions that are met. And 1 second, my sage, and yes, I do have sage burning over here. It is burning like crazy. I guess we're just gonna leave it. I just totally got a whole bunch of ash on my thumb because of it. So yeah, I feel like that's a thing. Like sometimes the anger, oh, that made such a difference just moving it a little bit. I feel like that's the thing, is that sometimes the anger, it gets out of control, right? It gets really crazy. Like with that, all of a sudden my sage was just going crazy. It's still burning like crazy, but the smoke shifted and I'm not swallowing it anymore. And so people have a hard time swallowing what's happening to them at any one given moment. And yet here you are, you fly in and you are so tapped in, but you're so detached from the actual stuff that's happening. It's not something that you're like, oh my gosh, like I have to be so emotionally involved in this. You're not emotionally involved in it. You're rather in this energy of like, okay, so this is what's happening. I see where you're coming from. I see where they're coming from. So let's meet in the middle. And you giving everybody a voice, just being able to listen to everybody's stories or being able to listen to everybody's side allows you to bring a sense of community in there. It's just like where they couldn't see the other person's point of view. Just by you playing this mediator of some sorts, they're able to now see the other person's view because you calm the situation down greatly, right? They're seeing superficial, you're seeing core deep. And somehow in the midst of that, you help everybody meet somewhere in the middle. And that is why people fall for you, because you bring this very balanced and delicate energy into anyone's situation. And you see everything from a very justice-oriented mindset. So it wouldn't surprise me if you have a Libra moon, if you have Libra rising, or if you have Libra in the 10th house and the 12th house is coming in as well. And maybe Aquarius in the 5th house, okay? I do feel like that's just something, or you have an Aquarius sun as well. Like Aquarius sun is coming in really strong right here. But you just don't want to see people at odds with one another. And it's not that you're shouldering the weight of this. It's almost like it comes naturally to you. This is something that you're just able to see the situation for what it is and step in with the right words at the right time. And people are absolutely stunned by that. They're just like, wow, here comes in pile 1, and they're taking care of business without anybody asking them to take care of business. Okay, so today I'm going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot. I've been totally digging this deck for a little while. I do that sometimes. I have tons of different tarot decks, and Sometimes I just get really attached to one for a while, and that's what's coming through today. So, Source, why do people fall for pile number 1? What would you like to share with us today? Yeah, you're very passionate about who you are and what you stand for, and others can't help but be inspired by what you stand for and how strong you are about what you stand for. Like, it's almost like everybody's trying to label everyone, right? Like, oh, everybody's a narcissist. It doesn't. Narcissists are labeling other people as narcissists, and non-narcissists are labeling everyone as narcissists. This is just the example that they're showing me here, and it's like with everyone labeling everyone a narcissist, and you're standing up and you're like, hey, what if no one's a narcissist here, and rather it's just all of us misunderstanding people? And that's what really puts people at, like, in this place of silence. Like, whoa, I never actually thought about it that way, right? And it doesn't have to be like narcissist, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, oh, they're a sociopath. Another person saying, well, they're just bipolar, or they're crazy, or whatever. And it's like, maybe we're just misunderstanding each other, and we need to come back to a place of you know, the talking stick is what I just heard. You get the talking stick, so you get to say how you feel for 3 minutes, and then you have to pass on the talking stick, whether you're done or not. And you give the next person the talking stick, and they get to say how they feel for 3 minutes, and then we're going to come together and talk it all out together. That's what it really feels like you do, pile number 1. All right, so pile number 1, Source, why do people fall for pile number 1? Why do people fall for pile number 1, Source? What would you like to share with us? 2 of Wands. Yeah, very action-oriented. Like, you do not like signs of injustice. You step in right away. It's like you're not someone to stand on the sidelines while someone's getting bullied. You right away step up, but you're also not the person that's just going to stand up just for the victim. Like, you're going to find out, why is the bully being a bully? That's what it feels like. You see both sides. Like, each side is very equal to you, right? None is different than the other, but we also don't need to be one-sided on this and say, oh, it's just the bully's fault, because what if it's not? What if the bully is actually a victim, and that's why they're now bullying another person? And so it's like you're seeing further into it than that. Why do people fall for pile number 1, Source? Whoa. Yeah, the Ace of Swords, the clarity that you bring to situations that are very chaotic. Right, and this energy of the snake, before we look at what's on the bottom of the deck, this energy of the snake, this infinity symbol around the handle of the sword here, you're very clearly seeing what goes around comes around. Very clearly understanding that, you know what, there's more to this than just this person being a jerk for the sake of being a jerk. Right? You're like, no, there's so much more underneath this. You are aware of what's going on. You may be very psychic, intuitive. You could be empathic. You could be all of the above. You could have clairsentience, clair-knowing, right? On the bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Wands. Yeah. You help people let go of the stubbornness that they have adapted in being right in any one way, shape, or form, like any situation. Well, I have to be right, and in having to be right, it means that the other person is very clearly wrong. But what happens when we're in that energy, right? If everybody's feeling like they're right and the other person is wrong, then who's actually right? What if every party is actually right, but equally so, every party is actually wrong? Like, I do feel like you see this through the middle. Like, you're very much in the middle there. You're not one side or the other. And somehow, because of that, you help bring everybody closer together. You may have solved some serious situations with people. You could be a counselor. I got high school counselor coming in so strongly all of a sudden. I'm not saying your high school kids are falling for you, but I'm saying, like, you might be telling stories sometimes, and some of these stories are coming up, or maybe it's parents that see how much you've helped their kids. Definitely an element of children coming in here. Maybe you are a child psychologist or a child's counselor in some way, shape, or form, or you work with kids. Or what they're showing is that you are very easy to tap into other people's inner child here. Okay, so take what resonates. So that's the energy that's coming in, and it's coming in like really strong. Something about kids here. And very action oriented. You could have an Aries sun. You could also have an Aries in Mars and that be in the 3rd house for some reason is coming in. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna say Mars and Aries in the 3rd house at near 30 degrees. I don't know why that's coming in. I'm not really I'm still learning about astrology. That's a huge topic. It's like an iceberg, and so, but sometimes I get these really, really strong impressions, and that's a really strong impression coming in for me right now, and that's going to resonate with maybe one person. Okay, so please, if it's not you, that's okay. Oh, interesting. So I don't take these in the reversal. It did actually come out in the upright. I thought it flipped over in the reversal. Yeah, we have the 9 of Cups. Emotions, yeah. Look at this. So the 9 of Cups, like, you're able to see people's emotions very clearly, their intent. You might have a Scorpio moon or Pisces moon as well. And this is something that's very strong that's coming in, where you are noticing that these emotions are not because someone said something. These emotions derive from a deeper trigger. Okay, and you very clearly see that. And so why people fall for you, pile 1, is because you're just very tapped in. At a very deep level, you're very tapped in, and you're very clear about what that means, and you share that. You're communicating that with others, but you're also looking from the outside in, and so you're not as emotionally attached to situations as so many people are. That the people who are coming to you, or the people who are experiencing these things, like, you're very much on the outside looking in at these situations, right? They're very much in here, and you're seeing it from all sides. Like, you're able to freely move around all sides of this window, and somehow I keep coming back to that energy. You give others a voice that don't have a voice. So maybe you are really into this. You might do advocate. You might be an advocate of some sort. You might be in the legal department somewhere, work in justice. You could be a judge. You could be someone who does is it dockets, when they record what's going on in court. And again, if this is what you do, you don't have to mention that down below if you don't feel comfortable. I'm never saying these for you to mention down below, but I know a lot of people are like, wow, that's exactly what I do. But I know, like, when you work in the legal system, there's this element of mystery that comes with that, and I can appreciate that as well. But if you do feel like you want to mention that down below, by all means do. I always appreciate it. But yeah, there's something here where it's like you've been shrouded in your own darkness, and that actual darkness that you've experienced in your own life is what leads you to being able to see both sides. So, you know, the example that they're showing here is that maybe you grew up in a very abusive home, and maybe for a while you accused your abuser for so long, like, well, they should have known better. Why did they treat me like that? Like, what the heck? And somewhere along the way, like, you learned psychologically or emotionally that they were passing on what they had learned from their family. So just saying the example here, and please, I know this is a trigger alert, so I'm just going to say this here. You can skip over this part if this is going to be one of those things that triggers you, but this is what's coming out. So say, like, you had a very abusive father, and that could be verbally, physically, or otherwise, but you had a very abusive father, and you're wondering, like, what the heck? What did I do? Why was my father so abusive to me? But then you realize, you know, your father really hated maybe your grandfather, and you never met your grandfather, and then finally you ask, like, why did you hate grandpa so much? And your dad says something like, well, because he treated me like crap. He was very abusive to me. He's very rough with me. And it was like, he just said that was tough luck. That's just how it works and everything. And all, it's like you put 2 and 2 together, right? You put that together. And then that brought immense healing to you, and suddenly you saw the whole picture for what it was. It was no longer, this is something personal against you. And it's like that element of healing that in your own life allowed you to bring that element to others. And it doesn't just have to be abuse. It could be anything that you've been through that was really difficult in your life. But you were able to put together all the sides, connect all the dots to it. And in connecting all the dots, now it doesn't matter what situations are brought to you. You're able to see people at a much deeper level from their hearts rather than their minds. That's what's coming in. Let's get some oracles out. So Source, why do people fall for pile number 1? What would you like to share with us today? On the bottom, we have cardinal energy. Yeah, so Aries energy is coming in, and Libra. Aries and Libra are coming in really strongly here. We have Cancer and Capricorn as well. Instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. You're like the light in the dark. But what's unique about you as well is that you're not afraid to walk in the dark as this sort of truth. Right? When the storm is raging, you just go in head first. You're like, let's go. We're going to take it on and see what happens. When everyone else is running for cover, like, oh no, I can't do this. I can't be here. I can't go through this. Like, what the hey. And you're like, no, that's cool. Like, we got to figure it out. If we don't figure it out, it's going to be something that continues to come up time and time again. And this is why people fall for you. We have the damsel coming out. Interesting energy after we're talking about how you're this like hero-like energy. But we have understanding the nature of healthy romance and inspires you to rely on yourself. Right? Seeing yourself in the mirror. The shadow is waiting for a knight to provide for you, and seduction by romantic illusion. So this could be also that maybe you are a romance counselor, a relationship counselor, something like that. You could be a matchmaker too. That's coming in really strong as well. But you're able to help people see both sides of the story, like where people are coming from, and helping them to inspire themselves to rely on themselves in this situation rather than to rely on the need to be right. Rely on where you can come from a space of love. We have the healer. Yeah, this is not surprising to me at all. A passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and the spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. And that's everything that we've been talking about this whole reading. We have taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself as the shadow. I feel this is something that you've dealt with. This is a part of your shadow, are people who were refusing to take care of themselves. And, you know, putting that onto you. And that's something that helped you really grow as an individual when you learn to heal that part of yourself. You're no longer the wounded healer. You're the healer warrior, right? Service. I feel good when I can help others. So again, this feels like that confirmation of being in some sort of psychological or mental, emotional help, or being a psychologist, a therapist, a counselor type energy. Maybe in the hospital, you help people in the hospital. You could be a nurse, you could be a doctor, right? You could do anything like that. And it might not even be health related. Maybe you just help people in general on a day-to-day basis. So take it as it resonates. Why do people fall for pile number 1? Stop. Yeah, you put a stop to the things that otherwise would get out of hand, right? Like, you come in and you help people really, really just take a step back and say, it's not worth it. It's not worth destroying a relationship. It's not worth destroying each other. It's not worth destroying yourself for what's happening here. And you help them see the abundance, right? That's what abundance is. Abundance is helping us to see prosperity instead of poverty, abundance instead of lack. And so you're helping others see from this place of unconditional love, which is abundance, rather than this place of hatred, anger that's fueled by hate and resentment, right? Which is lack. And so you're helping them to go from this anger energy into this more heart-centric energy. That's why people fall for you. They can't help it because you're a very heart-centric person. You're driven by your heart chakra in a very beautiful way. So since this is a why people fall for you, we're going to get some love cards out and see what comes through. Secret crush. Flipped over, we have admirer, attraction, suitor, and butterflies. So there could be someone here who has a secret crush on you, is a secret admirer. We might not know exactly who that is, or you might know who that is, and this is just confirming your already intuitive suspicions, if you will. Anxiety. This is why people fall for you. Help them overcome anxiety, stress, depression, panic attacks, and being restless. You help them overcome that in a very unique way. Even if you're very forward, like, you're not cruel, you're not ruthless, but you will be very blunt, very honest for the sake of healing situations. Parting. Yeah, this is that, again, that collective mind energy here. Celebration, event, public gathering, or event, public, social gathering. So, and this also looks like a prom to me. So again, could be high school counselor energy coming in as well. But I do feel like this is that, going back to what I was saying, like you're very tapped into the collective. So it's like very public. It's like everything is social for you, but it might not be a huge gathering, but you're tapped into how everybody's feeling. On the bottom, we have friends, acquaintance, trust, support, and loyalty. Look at how very close these pictures are. Right? 4 different women here, but they're very closely related. They're both smiling, very happy about this. It's like you're helping friends stay friends over situations that otherwise would have torn them apart, and helping them to find support within themselves and helping them to find balance within that support. Why do people fall for pile number 1, source? Cooperation. Yeah, we are getting repeat messages here. Acceptance, listening, teamwork, and win-win. Yeah, you help everybody come into this cooperative state. And that might be, it might seem silly that that's something for people to fall in love with, but it's not. It's actually because you give everybody a chance to be heard. You give everybody a chance to listen to one another. And so where it's like, no longer am I trying to be right. I'm just trying to state how I feel about the situation or what's going on within me. And the other person is just trying to state what's going on with them. And that together helps each party understand that this was actually much more or much less than what we were putting it as. Why do people fall for pile number 1, source? Painting. Look at that. Telling a story, conveying emotion, decorating and shaping. Very much driven by your third eye here. You are very intuitive, and this idea of storytelling, again, you let everyone tell their side of the story. I love this confirmation. On the bottom, we have family. Look at that. Roots, bloodline, togetherness. That energy of helping people stay together. It's like maybe you've lost a lot of people in your life. Maybe you've had to let go of a lot of people in your life, or, you know, whatever the situation is. And through that, you've learned how important it is to keep those near and dear to you that matter. And so you do your best to do that. Yeah, okay, they want me to stop. On the bottom, we have truth with expression. Yeah, you help others see the deeper truth of the situation. And then through expression, everyone's able to see that. We have ego with vanity and pride, helping others to overcome the ego, right? Like, healing of the ego is not necessarily an easy thing, but it can be so rewarding when someone sees, wow, I really am coming from my emotions and not from a place of understanding. You help them overcome this with transcendence and unity. Right? This is something that's finding balance in an otherwise unbalanced situation. But again, look, we have 2 women here staying together, right? And this energy, they're now mirroring each other instead of at odds with one another. So people fall for you. Maybe you helped sisters stay together or families stay together, something like that. But it's like definitely you help people work it out. And this is why people fall for you. All right, we're going to get a romance angel for you, and then we'll see what else came out for you. Why do people fall for pile number 1, source? Okay, those 2 right there. On the bottom, we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So that's that energy. You're very optimistic. You're very positive. You're not a negative person at all. Actually, I feel like even when you're helping people see both sides of the story, you're doing it from a very centered place of love and optimism. Like, hey, look, you know, I know you're mad at Sam over here, but Sam is also mad at you. But and before you go off the deep end, let's just hear it out. Let's find out why you both are mad at each other, because I feel like you both have a story, but neither one of you wants to hear the other because you feel like you're not being listened to, or you feel like you're not being heard. So let me give you a space to be heard. And if people see this happen, if people see this experience, they can't help but fall in love with you. Right? Sagittarius, optimism. Yeah, you're a very optimistic person. Exploration and freedom. Happy-go-lucky. You might have Jupiter as a chart ruler. Okay? We've got fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. You help people face their greatest fear. And part of that fear comes from not being heard or understood. Like I feel like some of our most deeply ingrained fears comes from, that's why we feel so ostracized all the time, is because we feel like we're misunderstood. We feel like we're not heard. We feel like people don't see us. But you see people, and that's why people fall for you. Yeah, guilt and sabotage. You help people overcome the guilt that they're feeling. And this is the other thing too. I feel like you save people from sabotaging certain relationships or certain connections. You also save people from carrying this guilt around, helping them to come back into this place of love. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. You're very passionate about what you're doing. I believe I said that in the shuffle, that you're super passionate about it, and that's another reason why people fall for you, is because you're so passionate about the service that you provide to others. Even if you're not getting paid for this, or if this is not like a day job or something, and this is just who you are on a daily basis, like, you're still very passionate about it. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah, so you're the person that everyone wants. You're the one that's worth waiting for. And so it's just very much like this very clear energy. I want that person in my life. I want pile number one in my life, because they bring such good energy. They bring such love, right? So let's take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. Wow, we've got the owl, wisdom, and the air, right? Communication, being in the air, being able to connect with the divine, seeing things at a deeper level, intuition. You know, there's all these energies that are coming. Look, and clairvoyant. Did I not say? Oh, no, I said clairsentient. I said that at the beginning. Either that was in your pile, or that could have been in the collective reading. I'm not 100% sure. We have abundance, clairvoyant, and treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. And I say Jupiter might be your chart ruler. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. When in balance, you're generous, trusting, and secure. When out of balance, there's money quarrels, scarcity. To bring into balance is an offering, and I feel like you're always offering this service to people, at least that you care about, or people that you realize need it. Like, you are very tapped in, and Source is always inspiring you, like, oh, those are the people you need to go and help, or those are the people that need your energy at this time. And so you're very tapped into that. But yeah, you're very clairaudient, so you're getting messages all the time, and I feel like those very messages are what are helping lead you to help these individuals see from a place of love. So this is what I see for your pile one. This was an absolutely incredible reading. I'm so honored to be sharing this space with you, and I'm really glad that I got to do this with you today. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little owl emoji down below and say, by swooping in silently, I leave a profound impact with my wisdom, my knowledge, and my love. And if it resonated with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, my spirit guides for coming together to give us this profound message. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 10th house on it, if you were drawn to this stone with the throat chakra symbol on it, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on why do people fall for you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. For anybody that might be new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you along the way, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And just a quick note, we do things completely differently here on this channel. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, why do people fall for pile number 2, Source? What would you like to share with us today? Why do people fall for pile number 2? What would you like to say today, Source? Why do people fall for pile number 2? Okay, so we've got the 6th house, we've got Aquarius energy, and we've got the Sun. So you could have the Sun in Leo, Aquarius, or Virgo coming in here. You could have the 6th house highly aspect in your chart, as well as Aquarius highly aspect in your chart, or Leo. I'm hearing Aries. Aries has been the energy of the day for sure. Alright, so why do people fall for you? You take really good care of yourself, and you have very direct routines that keep you busy, and busy for the sake of, like, you're not just waiting around for people to reach out to you. You're not waiting around for people to connect with you. You're very unattached, right? When people are texting each other, it's crazy to look at the world today and see how many people are so obsessed, and they'll put their lives on hold waiting for a message for someone. Like, oh, I'll text you later, and then that person will constantly look at their phone. Have they texted yet? Have they texted yet? Have they messaged yet? Have they messaged yet? Oh my gosh, like, what's going on? You know, but for you, it's more or less like, they said they would text. They're either going to or they're not going to, but I'm not going to put my life on hold for them, because I got things that I have to take care of. I have things that I have to focus on, and you're very blinders on is the energy that's coming through here. You have these blinders for your journey, for your health, for your routines, for your work, whatever it is that you put most of your time and effort into. You very much have these blinders, like, this is what I'm putting my effort into today, and that's where it's gonna go. And it doesn't matter. I'm pretty much gonna be the one that takes extra time to text people back, because I'm the one that's busy doing what I want to be doing, or what I have to be doing, right? And you're very stable in that. It's a part of your expression. It's a part of who you are. It's, people just recognize when it comes to pile number 2, they're not just on standby for me or for anybody. It's not a personal thing for you. It's just, I'm sure you might have multiple friends, or even if you don't, like, you've had friends before say that, you know, like, oh, pile number 2, like, they're always just takes forever to text me back. You're like, yeah, that's kind of my thing. Sorry, not sorry type energy, right? But you are very community oriented. Like, you're very much in this energy of taking care of the people around you, and taking care of the people who you do connect with, and bringing that love and alignment to them, and wanting them to see that life isn't about putting yourself on hold for everyone else. It's about really rooting into yourself and really grounding into this moment and what you can do for your highest good. And you bring this sense of inspiration to others. This, like, when they're with you, they feel like they can do anything. They feel like they're safe, and that I have a chance to be who I'm meant to be in this moment with pile number 2. But when you leave, there is a deficit of your energy that definitely goes with them. And so there's a craving to want to be back with you, pile number 2. That's why people fall for you, is because there's like this shift. Whenever you're around, your energy speaks volumes, and it speaks for itself, and it's massive, and it's not overwhelming, but it's just, it's all encompassing is the word that's coming through here. And you're not about leaving people aside or kicking people out or like not paying attention to people. It's like, but when someone has your attention, they have the whole of your attention. You're not the person that's constantly checking your phone. Again, that phone is coming through here. It's like you're not attached to your device. Even if your device is something that you use to run your business out of or whatever, it's like you're just not constantly attached to it, because you know things are going to work out exactly the way that they need to. So even if you're getting calls from clients or something like that and you're not able to pick it up, it's not that you're ignoring them. It's literally because you have so many things going on. But they're things for taking care of you and things for filling up your cup so that you can be present with clients or with the people who you help or with the people that you need to connect with, right? And so it's like with your community. It's so you can be present with your community. Wow. Very bright, though. You're very bright light, a very bright energy, very emotionally mature and stable, while also being incredibly attractive. I feel like Pile 2, you might not recognize or know just how attractive you are. But the more that you grow and the more that you evolve, the more attractive you become. It's more than just your looks, it's your energy, and it's shining so bright. It's like when people say you're glowing, like you're actually glowing. Not because you're pregos or anything like that. It's like you're actually glowing because your soul is glowing. And that's what people, they fall for that. They fall for your soul. They fall for who you are at a core level. Why do people fall for pile number 2 source? What would you like to share with us today? Why do people fall for pile number 2 source? Okay, thank you. Why do people fall for pile number 2? This could be a person, one person in particular that's fallen for you, a friend. And that's a very specific message that's coming out right away, but this could be a friend that is falling for you, especially with Aquarius energy here. Why do people fall for pile number 1 or pile number 2 source? Interesting. This also came out in pile number 1, so for me to say pile number 1 in a different place. Yeah, let's get some more. Why do people fall for pile number 2 source? The Fool. Yeah, Aries energy, Mars energy, very action-oriented. Why do people fall for pile number 2 source? Why do people fall for pile number 2? That is too many, yeah. Why do people fall for pile number 2 source? Alright, I'll take it. So we have the Mother of Swords and we have the 6 of Wands. I guess I'll just put them this way. Yeah, so heavy Aries energy. You could have some pretty benefic Mars placements in your chart. Libra as well. It's interesting. I kept getting Aries and Libra for pile number 1. So you could be here from pile number 1. Or you might have also been drawn to pile number 1. Again, you do not have, it's never a requirement to watch multiple piles. But if you feel drawn to that, there might be additional messages for you in pile 1. That's not going to be for everyone. The Hangman, Pisces energy with Neptune here. Yeah, you're like this, a creature of the night, right? You're a creature in the night. Like you're someone who, maybe you come alive after dark, or you like to get together after dark. It's something with you. It's like, so you can have the whole day to focus on your self-care, and then you might come alive after dark. Like, let's get together after dark. But also with the Hangman energy, this is about being super comfortable with who you are. You're not out here trying to make everyone see a side of you that doesn't exist. You're showing up with everyone and every person the same way, right? Like I said, you might have friends talk about like, oh, pile 2, they're so hard to get in touch with. Like they never talk, they never answer me back, or when they do, it's like always so much like longer in the future, and it's so, takes up so much time, and this, that, and the other, and it's like you treat everybody the same. You're not giving favoritism to any one person. It's just because you're focused on your healing, you're focused on you, and you're focused on doing what matters for you. So there's this sense of making a choice, and a lot of times your choices have to do with doing something new, right? New for yourself, something that you want to create for yourself, or doing something new with others as well. You don't like doing the same things over and over again. And people like that. You give a sense of variety, right? You're always in this place of like, let's eat somewhere new. Let's try a new dish. Let's try a new movie theater. Let's try a new venue. Let's try a new shopping area. It's like always wanting to explore and see the world from different avenues and different viewpoints. And so people fall for you because of that. You are the sense of adventure, and you bring that sense of adventure wherever you go. And you are also an incredible ally to have. Like, when people have you in their life, they feel supported, they feel loved, they feel heard, they feel understood. And they feel like you bring success into their lives. And you're also incredibly honest. The Mother of Swords here. You're a very honest person. Like I said, though, sometimes you do feel very detached. You're very detached from the emotional side of things. And it's just because you're loving yourself and taking care of yourself. And it's like, if I worry about where every other person is coming from, that just takes away precious energy from myself. And so when people aren't in that same energy, they see that as someone being cold and detached, when in reality, you're not really cold and detached. You're just seeing it from a place of like, you're going to figure it out, and I'll be here for you, but you're going to figure it out ultimately, and I have to leave you to figure that out. And you're not just jumping in head first like so many people are used to, but people admire that about you. They feel like you're very wise, and curt is the word that's coming through here. Very curt and very succinct in the way that you talk, and everything is very measured when they're talking to you. Like, you're measuring out the dynamics, or you're measuring out what's happening, the circumstances, the situation. You're measuring everything out, and through that, it allows you to step forward from a very clear understanding. And that is something that people really fall in love with, or fall for you about. You're also very high vibrational. Well, we were talking about that with the dice, this very bright light, but you fly miles higher than everyone else, but you're not afraid of the dark. I feel like, again, with the owl and the bat being here, symbolically, the nighttime is like your time. So like, maybe you really appreciate the winter. You could be a Capricorn as well, like a Capricorn sun or a Capricorn moon. You could also have Pisces sun, Pisces moon, or again, Aquarius placements here. That would be wintertime, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And that's something that, like, maybe the wintertime is the time when you come and you're just a different person. You're feeling full of life, when everyone else is feeling like, I can't deal with the darkness anymore. I just want to be in the sun. I just want to be in the light. And you're like, no, bring it on. I'm cool if it's 24 hours of darkness. And people are like, how can you do that? And you're like, because that's the best time to be alive, is when everyone else is asleep. When you can silently move about the world and not have to worry about if people are watching you, because you're the only one that's watching. And people fall for you because of that. They really like that about you. You're very abundant. Life is a highway. I want to drive it all night long. Maybe you travel a lot. Yeah, I don't know why that's coming in right now. 7th house, profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. Yeah, so there's definitely a few people here who want a romantic partnership with you. But again, coming back to that, like, you're the ultimate ally. When people connect with you in this way, they realize that you're on their side 100%. And you're also not going to be the person that just strokes their ego for the sake of stroking their ego. Like, you're going to tell them if you feel like they're in the wrong, right? You're going to be very clear. We have gossip. You could be a Gemini as well, with the gossip card coming out. We have awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. And the shadows thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. So I do feel like a lot of people give you information, and that's when they realize, like, you're on their side, is because you could go and easily hurt them by passing on gossip or telling others about where they're coming from. But you don't share that with others. You're someone who's very trustworthy, right? You take consideration for the feelings of others. That's something that's very important for you. Even though you might be emotionally detached, it doesn't mean that you're not considering others, right? You're measuring out everyone else around you, but also you don't play into those petty games. We have Virgin on the bottom, with maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. And the shadow is the fear of intimate union. Yeah, so again, this idea of there's someone here who really does see you as this pure individual who wants to connect with you. But I also feel like this is what people fall for, is because you're very honest, and that honesty is looked at as a sense of purity, right? You're able to see things with clear mind, clear heart, clear vision, and clear spirit. And that gives you that sense of that virgin-like energy. Also with the virgin connecting with hermit energy, which also connects with Virgo energy. And not that the hermit's a virgin, it's just that Virgo energy coming in, right? They're known as the virgin in the zodiac, that very pure soul, that very pure body, mind. And it's like, even though they're overthinkers, they're working to always stay in that balanced state of pureness and innocence. And that's what I feel like people fall for. You're very innocent, but you're very aware also. You might be innocent, but not so innocent that you're not aware of what's going on around you. Success. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. So you're very successful, but you're also bringing elements of love into all that you do. It's weird, right? For people to fall in love with you because you're successful, but you're successful because you never give up. And I feel like that's the part of you that people fall in love with. You're never giving up. You're always on the go. You're always trying again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Like, you embody that. Acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. And you radically accept yourself as you are. Weirdness and all. Like, you're cool with it, right? If I'm weird, I'm weird. I'm going to be weird. But I'm not going to change myself just because other people are uncomfortable with it. That's true authenticity, right? Yeah. Oh, I love this. You're very sweet. We have sweetness coming out. You're a very sweet soul. You're a very sweet, kind person. And I feel like you do your best to lift others up. Like what I say when I say you're not stroking others' egos for the sake of stroking their ego. But being kind and generous and compassionate is not beyond you. You're actually very, very kind, very generous. Very generous with love even. It's like helping people see, like, you deserve to be on top. You deserve to have success. You deserve to have these things. Like, you're helping people see that. But when you need to be very clear about where you're at or defend yourself, you're not afraid to do that either. Yeah, protection. Yeah, you're very much in this place. Like, as long as I don't feel like I need to protect myself from you, you're going to experience the light side of me. But if I feel like I have to protect myself from you, you're going to get this very curt, blunt, abrasive, brash individual. And people who see that, they fall for that because they realize, like, you're the person who's going to stand up for them. And I don't feel like you're, like, in this to stand up for others. I feel like you're just in this to stand up for yourself. But in standing up for yourself, you've taught others how to stand up for themselves as well. Okay, so these are coming out. We'll get one more. Please have one more. Legal matters. Justice, divorce, balance, and judgment. So Libra placements coming in. This could be working in the legal industry or a lawyer's office. You are a lawyer, paralegal. You could be in the justice system, police officer, private investigator, detective, something along those lines. But also just this balance coming in, like, you help people balance out their own lives because you're so balanced, and that's what people fall for. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between pile 1 and pile 2. There's definitely different messages coming in, but there is a lot of similarities coming in. So we have relationship, commitment, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend. So there is somebody here who wants a relationship with you. Even if you're with someone, there's someone here who, and I feel like they're not around you all the time, but they just see you. Someone maybe that you work with, especially with the 6th house here. Someone that you work with that wants to be with you. We have hide coming out, cheating, concealment, misleading. Someone who's hiding. Yeah, someone who doesn't want to be seen right now. Like, they do want to be with you, but they're not making themselves known. And that might be irritating to some because it's like, well, why not just tell me who you are? But this person is afraid of rejection. Okay, so we've got prosperity, abundance, wealth, good luck, and blessings. Yes. Okay, so people fall for you because you're very prosperous energy. And then we have ring, wedding token, bond. So this could be why this person's hiding. You could be married, or you could be in a very serious relationship with someone. And that could be why someone's hiding here. I also feel like people fall for you because they see you as marriage material, right? They see you as someone that would just be their better half. Love on the bottom. Appreciation, fondness, respect, and trust. And this is not a love deck. This is actually the answer oracle. And we got a lot of love cards here from this deck, which is interesting. Yeah, so they just have a deep, deep, deep appreciation for you here. There's people here, they love you. It's not just about falling for you. There are people here who love you. Like, they're in love with you. They love you from a distance. They can't help it. It's like you're the leader of this charge, and everyone admires you as that leader. On the bottom of the romance angels, we've got codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life, so there could be codependent energy coming in as well here. You've let go of codependency, so again, that goes back to what I was feeling though, that energy of not just waiting around for people, right? That's a very codependent energy. Like, my life is on hold for you because what you do matters. There's a female Greckle outside of my window right now, and she is making all kinds of noise. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, she is screaming right now. She's looking over here, looking around. They always come and talk to me when I sit outside. Oh, it's because her man's over there in the bushes. Okay. Yeah, so you could have somebody with that coming in. I see. Because the male is right here behind me in the bushes. And so I feel like you have someone, but maybe they're not always around you. But it's like you're also not hiding that you're with somebody or in a relationship, or that there's someone that's pursuing you. So it's just like you're on high demand. That's what I'm hearing. Chemistry, passion. Yeah, there's a lot of chemistry for you here. A lot of people who just, as soon as they meet you, there's instant sparks that are flying. But I also feel like you've had to learn to be very careful, because even if there's instant sparks that's flying, that doesn't mean that's a long-term connection, right? Chemistry is nice, but that never guarantees long-term. Wow, we have Libra coming in again. Consideration, fairness, and harmony. We had Libra here with the legal matters. So you could be a Libra, or this could be a Libra who is very interested in you. Addiction, toxic attachment, drugs, alcohol, and obsession. This is someone who's watching you from the shadows for sure. Healing, wounds, improving, mending, and progressing. Yeah, so you're healing from a lot of past situations. This could also be an ex, okay? This could have been someone that you actually divorced from or broke up with, okay? And you leaving this situation, actually putting yourself back on the market, is why people are falling for you, because they saw you overcome a very difficult situation. We're getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So again, you could be getting to know someone right now, or you're building a deeper bond with other people in your life. This doesn't have to be romantic. It could be friends, right? Worth waiting for. Yeah, some of you might very well resonate with pile number 1. We have divine timing is at work in your love life. So you're the one that's been worth waiting for. But I feel like if this is an ex, they didn't realize that until after they'd lost you. And I know this is why people fall for you, but this is still just a message that's coming in. I'm an energy reader, and so I have to go where the energy goes. And this is where the energy is going right now. I do feel like people feel like you're the person that's worth waiting for, though. You're everything that they've ever wished for. So this could also bring in toxic attachments to your life, or people who are wanting codependent situations that you've absolutely had to say, no, I'm not down for that. That's okay. But the more that you do that, the more you set up very good boundaries for yourself. Epiphany and breakthrough. Yeah. So this is going back to what I was saying. Like, there's an ex here who's realizing, oh my gosh, like I gave up something really good with pile number 2. I can't believe that I did that. And they're having this breakthrough. But I also feel like you had an epiphany and a breakthrough of like freedom. Like, I don't have to deal with that anymore. That was kind of crazy. And I don't have to deal with that in my life anymore. Okay, it could have been an earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be a Virgo or Capricorn, Taurus energy here. You could have a chart ruler of Mercury, of Saturn or of Venus as well is coming in. Interesting. So let's take a look at your card here. I'm going to read this from the book. We have zebra. Look at that. Seeing clearly with this little portal on the zebra's forehead, right? Like you're seeing all sides. You're seeing yourself. You're seeing what happened before. Nothing was all black and white. You're now able to see clearly that there was so much more going on behind the scenes. Yes, I love this. The first word is eccentric. So definitely could have Aquarius highly aspect in your chart, but just you're not your average Joe or your average Jane or your average person. You're just not. Creative, visionary. Zebras are the most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. You are the adventure. Being in the company of a zebra personality is not only a delight, but also opens our minds. Be prepared. Their potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environment or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags. It says, when in balance, worldly, enthusiastic, and fashion forward. When out of balance, you can be jaded, pouty, or vain. To bring into balance, an epic adventure or art. Yeah, so people fall for you because you are an adventure. Just being around you is an adventure. They never know what's going to happen. You're different, you're eccentric, you're wild in all the best possible ways. Like, again, you might come alive at night, and so you might like to go to clubs. You might not, but you might like nightlife, right? So you might like cities that stay up late, like Las Vegas, New York, California, right? You like those types of places where you can go and explore when everyone else goes to bed and just see these weird people and see these different types of people, these unique people that only come out at night. Like, you're just very much a night creature, it feels like, and that's why people fall for you. But they fall for you because when they're around you, everything is an adventure, okay? I love this reading. I'm truly honored I got to connect with you in this way. Pile number 2. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little zebra emoji down below and say, I embrace my weird, unique self, and I let myself explore the world, knowing that it keeps me well-rounded and wise. And if it resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very, very deep, amazing reading. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 10th house on it, if you were drawn to this lapis lazuli with the third eye chakra symbol on it, or ajna, if you will, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on why do people fall for you. I want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel. And if these messages happen to resonate with you moving forward, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that, let's hop to it and find out, why do people fall for pile number 3, source? What messages would you like to bring forth today? Why do people fall for pile number 3? What would you like to share today, source? Why do people fall for pile number 3? Oh, we've got Jupiter, Pisces, and the 5th house. And Jupiter used to be the original ruler of Pisces in ancient astrology, and now in modern astrology it is Neptune, but That could mean something. Maybe you study sidereal astrology. So I know that's like very specific coming in. But why do people fall for you? You are very mysterious, but also very bubbly and flirtatious. And you bring a lot of lucky energy with you everywhere you go. Like, people watch things work out for you and they can't help but fall in love with you. I feel like there's a lot of people that are rooting you on. You might be the underdog in your life or in your situation, and there's actually a ton of people that are rooting you and cheering you on, pile number 3. They can't help but love your energy. They can't help but love everything about you. What you stand for, the way you speak, the way you show up, the way you bring love, the way you bring light. All of these things have impacted so many people in such a profound and beautiful way. And so there's a lot of people here who would like to date you. Yes, but there's also a lot of people who just are generally, they have fallen in love with you as a person, your character, your stance in life, and who you are. And I feel like that's because you are sharing yourself in this way where you're very generous with your time, with your energy, with who you are, but you also draw back when necessary to take care of yourself. I do feel like you're incredibly intuitive, and so you might help people out on an intuitive sense, right? Helping them intuitively through their journey. Or maybe you are in divination of some sort. Reiki energy is coming through here. A life coach energy is coming through here. These are things that you would like to do. And so you naturally do them in your day-to-day life without thinking twice about it. Okay, if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. It's just you being you and showing up the way that you do. People are really intrigued by that. They're really just in awe of how amazing you are. You also have incredibly beautiful eyes and very shapely figure is what's coming through. And so people can't help but see you on some sort of pedestal. And I feel like for many of you, pile 3, you don't want to be put on a pedestal. You very much just want to experience life as a human, as we are, right? As this soul here having this human experience. And realizing that none of us should be put on a pedestal. But I do feel like there's a lot of people here who put you on a pedestal and they feel like you could bring something into their life that they're missing. I do feel like you're also coming from this place of helping to inspire others to find that inspiration within themselves. If you feel like you're missing something that comes to you personally, it's not me that's going to fulfill that for you. Some of you could work in the health industry, so RN, a nurse, we have oncologists is coming through here, working in maybe the psychiatric ward. Counseling, therapy is coming through as well. A lot of undertones throughout this reading. Maybe you've watched all 3 piles with me, and if you have, leave a purple heart down below. That's for my Purple Heart Club, and I truly do appreciate those of you that spend the entire reading with me. But if not, then this could be that maybe you're also a hands-on worker. I'm getting that with the Leo energy, something that you're doing with your hands, construction, working outside, building something. Could be an architect as well coming in. Wow, there's a lot of different energies coming through here. Very abundant energy though. Something about you is incredibly abundant. I feel like it's just from a lot of healing you've done and a lot of understanding and appreciating who you are in this lifetime and appreciating what you've been given. Realizing there's no sense in trying to be someone that you're not. But also, since you picked the lapis lazuli and the third eye chakra or ajna symbol here is talking about being able to really tap into seeing clearly with your third eye, with your psychic senses. So that's what's giving me this energy that you might do divination, especially with Pisces and Jupiter together. You could be someone who travels professionally, blogging, maybe you do a travel blog or something along those lines. Or that, again, these could be things that you want to do, that these are coming up as sort of saying, this is your green light. We're saying, yes, go ahead and do that. And that's only going to resonate with a few of you. So keep that in mind. Some of you could be professors. Ooh, that's coming in. Professors or teachers. Philosophy, you could be involved in philosophy or really, really just dig philosophical topics. Harvard just came in, like flying in. Harvard. Okay, why do people fall for pile number 3 source? Yeah, I feel like you're just incredibly intelligent and still like mysterious at the same time. Like, people feel like they could spend hours and hours and days, weeks and weeks and years with you and never even scratch the surface of who you are, and that may very well be true. Why do people fall for pile number 3 source? Daughter of Wands. Yeah, you're inspiring. You're also very like spiritually passionate, so you're very passionate about your spiritual journey. That could be why you picked lapis lazuli as well. The 6 of Cups. You have deep roots in your emotions. You're very centered in who you are, but you also give off this very ancient energy, an old soul for sure. Very old, wise soul, right? And helping others connect dots where they wouldn't be able to, but also finding, like, extending a branch. Like, what is that saying? Extending an olive branch, where many people wouldn't extend an olive branch. So, like, if somebody feels like they've never been believed by others, and they tell you their story, and you just listen, and you believe them because they've given you no other reason not to believe them, you might have found people who are really shocked, like, wait, you believe my story? And you're like, why wouldn't I? And they're like, well, no one else has believed it. It's like, well, you've not given me any reason to mistrust you or to feel like you're lying. And because you're willing to it's not even about lending a listening ear. That's not what this is. This is literally about letting people show up, and you believe them as they are, and that leaves them speechless when it comes to you. Why do people fall for pile number 3? Father of Pentacles. Yeah, you're very abundant, very grounded. This grounded energy, you make people feel incredibly safe as they are, heard and listened and understood. You share, you're very generous. You could be very abundant and wealthy monetarily wise, and you could, give to organizations or to like donations. You could donate. You could also do something where you take care of people in your neighborhood. Or like, I'm getting this energy of like where like Thanksgiving or Christmas comes around, or like a major holiday comes around. Maybe you cook up a huge meal and invite everybody that you know over, or everybody that is in your neighborhood or your community over. It's like kind of like a big potluck thing. Kind of like in Fast and the Furious when they do Sunday dinners. That same energy, but it's like you bring something over and we all get to partake. But I do feel like you're very generous in that. So you might make the main meal or the main course and offer drinks and make sure that there's enough plates for everybody, and then everyone just kind of brings in a side, and that completes the whole meal. Or maybe you do that for the church, or you volunteer in a kitchen or something like that. So there's something about food here, though. It's like food specific for some reason. That's interesting. I feel like maybe you help feed people. Like if you find someone on the side of the road that's homeless or that's come across hard times, you're like, hey, I'm not going to give you money, but let's go somewhere and eat. Let's share a meal together. Like you're going to be someone that shares a meal with them and talks with them. That's why that was coming through. I feel like pile 3, you're the person who, if you see someone that's homeless on the side of the road, you definitely invite them in. Like you might invite them into your car, or you might say, hey, meet me at this restaurant on the end of the block. I'll meet you there. And they go, and you're like, okay, come on, let's go inside. And they're like leery about it. They're, what do you mean? You're accepting me as I am? And you're like, you're still just a person, right? You're still here living your life. You still got, life happens to everybody. It doesn't mean that you're a terrible person just because you're on hard times right now. And so I feel like you're that person that's not recording, that's not trying to get views about it either, not trying to get likes and subscribes about it. You're literally that person that goes in and says, we're going to eat a meal together and I want you to tell me your story. And so you could be a journalist. That's coming in as well too. But that's the type of energy that you have. And if that's not resonating with you, then it's just something like that. You can apply that. You know, maybe you always bring in cookies at work, or you bring in, you know, leftovers, or you make enough for everybody on Friday. You make sure that your whole team can have food, or you always bring in donuts. If everybody has to work on Saturday, you go and get donuts for everybody, or something like that. Like, you're very generous, but it has to do with food. Like, something about food is coming in. Maybe you're an aspiring chef, or like an aspiring baker, or something like that. And so your concoctions that you make, you share with everybody, and they're actually really good, because I feel like you're a magician in the kitchen. And people are they feel very nurtured and taken care of when they're with you. Yeah, we have the Emperor here. Very masculine energy coming in here. So you could be an Aries, you could be a Virgo, you could be a Scorpio, or a Leo, or Sag here. You could have Pisces highly aspect in your chart. Pisces moon. Neptune could be your chart ruler. So that would be Pisces ascendant. Okay, are you gonna work with me here, homie? Work with me. That's the thing. I feel like you make people uncomfortably comfortable. Yeah, like there's some people who squirm when they're in your presence, because you're this incredibly beautiful person, and yet you're so humble and down to earth. But with the Emperor energy, that goes back to what I was feeling. Yeah, my nose is going crazy right now. Yeah, you are out to help everybody. Like, you see everybody as someone that if you can help, you're going to help. You may also very deeply believe in the pay it forward energy. Like, someone really helped you out at one point in time, and that really impacted your life in such a beautiful way. And now you've spent all your time when you could to pay it forward to other people, and you're never looking to get that back. Like, you're not helping someone with expectation. I feel like you've been very blessed in life as well. And especially with the King of Coins and the Emperor here, I feel like you've been incredibly blessed in life, and you've worked hard for it as well. It's not just that it fell in your lap. I just feel like working hard for it and being blessed at the same time. And there's something about sharing that with everybody. And it's love. It's like, it's not food that I'm sharing with you. Wow, and I'm getting really emotional all of a sudden. It's not food that I'm sharing with you, it's love, because this is the thing that the world needs the most of, and that this is the thing that we're lacking so much of. And if I can just bring a little bit of that love to people, then maybe it'll make the world a better place. And people are completely floored by that. They feel like you're the only person in the world that they can be fully who they are in this moment, and you're not going to judge them for that. Whether it's hard times, or whether it's just they had a bad day, or bad week, or bad year, whatever it is. And so I don't know if I'm feeling your energy right now, because it's like someone actually is hearing that. Someone is actually feeling that, and they fall for me because of that. Like, that's really deep, right? Or if this is the people that you help that I'm tapping into, and they're just so grateful that they've met somebody like you in their life. Wow, this is intense. Take a drink of water. And so there's this energy that's coming in. It's just, you are seen as this person that if the whole world acted like you, pile 3, we wouldn't have anything to worry about. But they don't. And so your energy is so greatly needed, and maybe you don't recognize just how deep that impact is. And I feel like there's a lot of people who watch you, who you might not know are watching you when you do these things. So like, if you are doing that for people at work, and maybe there's people who have, the meal that they've eaten is the meal that you brought in for them that day. and no one knows, and maybe you don't even know that, right? And maybe there's someone who does know that, and that's why they're falling for you, because you do it without expectation. You don't do this to get praise. You don't do this to get recognition. You don't do this to be seen. I feel like you do this because you know what it is to not have. And if I can be a little bit of that gift in someone's life, then I've done a good thing. And that means that even if all these people have everything that they've ever needed and they don't want for nothing, like, that energy is still it's like reverberating out from them. You've impacted and inspired them to do something the same. And I feel like maybe without realizing it, that you have actually inspired a lot of people who didn't need that type of help to go and help others that way. You're like the butterfly effect. You flapped your wings and it was so profound that they felt it across the world, and all these people suddenly were inspired to go and help other people. That's how powerful your energy is, right? And you see here, it's like some people see just how deep those roots go. So there are some people who know what you've been through and what you've suffered, but there are a lot of people who don't. There are a lot of people who just see the finished product of you standing tall as this tree, as this massive energy, as this abundant place that is giving from a place of love, right? And the Six of Cups, when we think of the Tarot Marseille, the Six of Cups, they talk about it being the soulmate card, but if we dig in even deeper, it connects with the Lover card. And the Lover card is that ask and it shall be received, knock and the door shall be opened, right? Have faith that things are going to work out for you. And so you're the answered prayer for a lot of people here, and that's why they fall for you. They can't help it, because it's like you're their savior in a way. But what's fascinating, unique, and amazing about you is that being their savior, you were just like them at some point in time. And you're not afraid to share that story with people. If they open up to you about their life, like, you're not afraid to share that side of yourself with others. Wow. Why do people fall for pile number 3? Wow. We have the 8th house flying out. We have transformation, karma, facing fear, and legacies. You have transformed your own life, and you faced a lot of your own fears, and I feel like you faced a lot of your own inadequacies, and realize that there's something that needs to be accepted about those inadequacies. Like, it's not something to be judged and shoved away and chastised because of it. You know, like, we all have them. We all have these moments where we feel like we don't belong, and so you, some way, shape, or form, there's something that you give, and it doesn't have to be food. You know, that's what they're showing me. It could be food, like food for the soul or food for the heart. You know, do you remember those books that came out? There were so many of them, but Chicken Soup for the Heart, what was it? Or Chicken Soup for the Soul books, right? That's what I feel like you are, pile 3s. Like, you're chicken soup for the soul. Like, I feel this again. I'm gonna get emotional, but I feel this in my heart. It's like you're just this. You're like an earth angel, and no one knew that they needed you until you came, and you transformed so many people without knowing it, and you're the good karma in their life. Like, you bring in this beautiful light to their lives, and you help them face fears that they didn't think that they could face, and you help them accept parts of themselves, the 8th house, right? Accepting the shadow parts of themselves that they didn't think that they could accept. You're chicken soup for the soul. Yeah. House 9, spiritual growth. Again, like, the soul is coming in. There's something about you're like a balm to people's souls and hearts, and that they feel that in the physical realm. Like, what is it? I knew I needed you, but I didn't know I needed you until you showed up. When you showed up, you changed my world. Why do people fall for pile number 3, source? Thank you. We have the Fool energy on the bottom. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Look at that, crying. So now I understand why I've been crying, why I'm getting emotional, is because you don't worry about it. Like, you're not worried about how you're feeling. You're not worried about, like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't feel in front of people. Like, you create safe spaces for people to feel. The shadow is using humor to wound rather than deliberate denial of your emotional truth. Yeah, so you've learned how to stand firm in your emotional truth, and that gives people a safe space to share their own emotional truth as well. Denial coming out. It says, I acknowledge my fear. I replace it with insight of awareness. Facing fears, you help people face things that they're deeply afraid of. Right? That's why that makes sense, why the food thing was coming out too. It's like, even if it's not food, it's that you're giving people what they need so that they can face fears about themselves that they didn't think that they ever could. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. And I feel like you're proud of where you are, but not in an arrogant sense. You're proud because maybe you were homeless, or maybe you didn't have food, or, you know, like, I feel like everything that you're helping others with is something that you yourself have experienced. You experienced a huge sense of lack and poverty, and maybe you grew up in a very impoverished home, or you were in a very, you know, poor environment emotionally and mentally. Right? And it's like, it's given you this insight to things. Yeah, a lot of pain in your life. You help people deal with their pain. You could work, or you could be like in AA, or one of those situations where you're helping people overcome addiction, but you help people with pain. And that also goes back to, maybe you're helping people in the hospital, or you work in a hospital. On the bottom, cleanse. Yeah. Man, pile 3, it's been a long time since I've been so emotional. I just can't. I feel like you're super sensitive, and that's such a beautiful thing in this world. So please, if someone says you're too sensitive, just laugh. Just laugh, because we need that. It's just been so long since I'm just like, usually I'll cry like once or something, but I mean, for it to keep coming up, like, it's just something very deep here. It's really hitting you a different way, or it's really hitting these people. Right? I mean, this could be the people I'm tapping into as well. It's just you hit different, you know? You seem unreal. Social media. Okay, so we have social media with spying, online, reminiscing, and networking. Maybe you do something online to help people. You have, didn't I say like a blog or something? So maybe it's just like you give pieces of yourself to people online or over a network, text message. Yeah, there's some sort of communication, news, phone call, direct message. You know, that's interesting because this is all digital. Something you do digitally. It doesn't have to be digital, but it does feel, with social media and text message, it does feel digital here. Home, comfort, safety, belonging, and shelter. You make people feel at home. You make them feel safe, cared for, right? You're the emperor. Like, people look up to you. They look up to you because they know that you're going to take care of them. They know that you're going to be there for them. And you're not out here judging them based on their bad decisions or their mistakes. You're accepting of all of that. And that's why people fall for you. I feel like this is men and women alike. Like, I feel like no matter what you are, man or woman, or what you identify with, okay, no matter what that is, you have people of both genders, non-binary, you have it all. They're all falling for you. Like, in the highest regard. They can't help but fall in love with you, and it's because you're a walking embodiment of strong and centered unconditional love, but also this father, like the father figure. It's like you're the father figure, wow, that no one's ever had. You've learned how to show constructive criticism and to give very generous advice and to give guidance in a way that helps them heal their life. Book, wisdom, experience, immortality, and authority. Yeah, exactly. And didn't I say that? Like old soul. You're like this very cosmic father type of energy. And even if you're a woman on here, you identify as a woman, that doesn't matter. You just have this very secure attachment style with your masculine energy. You've had to learn how to build that over a lifetime, over many lifetimes. And people are so appreciative of that, especially in a world where we're really embodying right now the toxic masculine, right? That's been a thing for a long time, and you're helping to heal that side of society. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Yeah, and when we think about romance too, usually we think about the guy or the more masculine taking approach to, making the gesture. And so that, again, right, that's what this feels like to me. It's just that confirmation that you're in this place of showing people how to become very strong within themselves and strong within what they need to do. You're the fate in their lives. Detour, divine intervention. You're an answered prayer. It's the shock that they need to see that the way that they've been living in poverty has been keeping them from prosperity. It's the shock that they needed to see. It's like, well, if pile number 3 can do it, then I can do it too. And that's all you ever wanted. You just wanted people to see their strengths. You wanted people to know that they're capable of that change too. It's like maybe you've had a lot of people say, oh, you're just lucky, or oh, right, especially with Jupiter here, oh, just things come super easy to you. But the people who fall for you are people who know you, or people who have followed your story, or people who've been there since day one. People who've experienced the things that you've experienced, even if it's been second-hand experience. You've shared that with them, and they realize, like, if pile number 3 can do it, so can I. Yeah, guilt and sabotage. You help people face this part of themselves where they feel guilty for the choices they made or the person that they've become. You help them not feel guilty about that anymore, but to accept it and to integrate that and to move on from it. The healer, exactly. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and the spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. We have pain here. It says shadow attributes. Take advantage of those who need help. Failing to care for oneself. Right? You're the chicken soup for the soul. That's what you are. Pile 3. Like there's no getting around it here. You are the chicken soup for the soul. I feel like this wants to be at the center here. Player, charming, manipulative, karmic, being tested. We're talking about even with the 8th house here, karma. So there might be a lot of people who come to you who are what society is deemed as shady, unsavory characters is what I just heard. And you are still accepting of them. That's why I was saying, like with homeless, like you're the person who says, come on, hop in, and you might have a really nice ride, and they might not have showered for weeks and weeks, and you're like, I don't care, hop in, it's okay, it's just a car, right? It's not, life is so much more valuable than this material item. But that's what this feels like unsavory characters, people who are already just being judged outwardly based on their appearances, and you don't do that. Seagull, cunning, perseverance, fearlessness, survival, and freedom. You're fearless to the things that most people are afraid of. Yeah, you're okay with taking this risk because the risk is something that is high reward, and the high reward, it feels like something like fulfillment for you, right? So we have risk-taking, attack, go ahead, glory favors the brave. Fire. Carnival, celebration, and ceremony. I do feel like there's a lot of people here that you've networked with that are now like friends, like people you never would have thought that you would have met, or people that you never thought that you would have connected with, and now you have these friends, these people who are like lifetime followers or lifetime connections for you. And Like, it's never going to change. They're always going to be there. They're always going to be supporting you. That's what I was feeling at the beginning. These are people who, like, want to see you succeed. Like, didn't understand that you were the underdog. And now they realize that you are the underdog. And that gives them hope. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Yeah, you help people disconnect. And this is why they fall for you. You help them disconnect from what society believes is acceptable. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I'm all stuffed up now. You're very playful energy. You're very bubbly. Didn't I say that at the beginning? You're very bubbly and flirty and playful and fun, and like, you're very deep too. There's two sides to you here. You're this very secure, deep, profound individual who's also very light-hearted and bubbly and fun and flirtatious and silly and goofy, and like, people who know that and recognize that within you, they're just forever changed by you. Regret and repression. You help people heal their regret and their repression with the guilt and the sabotage here. And I cannot make this up. Underneath that, we have the shadow side with the dark night of the soul, or the moon. So you're helping people heal their shadow. And this is why people fall for you. They're absolutely enamored by you, pile 3. Facade and beliefs. And this goes back to what I was feeling earlier. Like, it's like you help people let go of what society deems is acceptable. You're helping them realize, like, it's okay for you to accept yourself, because you are acceptable as you are. And that could be people who, you know, like, that could be unsavory characters. Like, maybe you're in AA, or you're in some sort of, you know, like Drugs Anonymous or something like that. Like, of course, all those people have been deemed unsavory characters because of a habit, but are they really? Or they're a product of their trauma, right? Or someone that's homeless, are they really an unsavory character, or is it a product of life and maybe the decisions that they made? That doesn't make them a bad person. It makes them a product of their environment. And it's like, you're helping people to see, like, I don't have to be so hard on myself because of the circumstances that I've gone through. And that's something that's absolutely beautiful. Let's see what card you got here. I'm going to read this from the book. Wow. Wow. Pile 3, you got the Phoenix card. Oh my goodness. You help people rise from the ashes renewed. Renewed is the Phoenix, the spirit card. This is the spirit symbol, the circle. Chicken soup for the soul. You're a walking embodiment of that. I can't. It says freedom from suffering, past karma, and reincarnation. Yeah, you're someone who has healed so much of your karmic baggage and beliefs and toxic patterns. You've healed so much of that, and you're helping others do the same. And that's why people fall for you. You're this Phoenix, this beautiful entity that's here walking on earth. Whether you're a starseed, an earth angel, whether you're you know, whatever you identify with as in not being from this world, it doesn't matter. But people recognize that within your spirit, the strength of your spirit. It says the Phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication, or the tapas. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize we've been suffering too long and something must change. Now I understand why I was getting so emotional. It's relief. You bring relief to people. The essence of, okay, we take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At the very moment the spark of the Phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and the dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the Phoenix lifts our spirits up and up and up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign that the fire of transformation is upon your wings. So the phoenix in the first chakra. The ancient yogis believe that our heaviest karmas reside in the first chakra. The earth center is also called Muladhara, or our root. The ascent of the phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned, it rises from the ash towards the navel center. And again it makes its journey from the first to the third, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. Yeah, you help people heal from the shadow, from their past, from those ideas where people have judged them just for who they are, the choices that they've made. You give them a safe space and help them recognize there's no reason to sit here and believe what everyone is trying to tell you to believe, because you're so much more than those choices, and you're so much more than those actions. You were doing the best that you did, the best that you could with what you knew how. And that's everybody. Everybody's made bad choices. And so those that judge you are also a product of being hypocrites, because they themselves have made terrible choices in their life. You help free people from themselves. And this is why people fall for you. Pile number 3. This is absolutely an amazing reading. And I'm so honored to have gotten to connect with you in this way. If you feel like this is your pile, leave the little flame emoji down below and say, through owning, admitting, and accepting my truth wholeheartedly, I help others heal and accept their own truths and free themselves. And if this resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredibly profound message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.